We're live into this one, folks. The second map of potentially 3 between ATK and Team 1. ATK were able to win that first map dust to 16-7. It's JRT Boggs on the calls, Welder as our observer for the evening. And this one has been quite different than the first series for ATK against B-Hop. A very confident first map, but map number 2, where things really went wrong for ATK. But look at this pistol round. 2 quick headshots on the B site. It's wide open, and Team 1 have been cracked open like a porcelain jar. And Swisher's got the drop on TRK too. This is going to be an easy one for ATK here.
Yeah, let's not forget, ATK got 1 round on T side against B-Hop. It was 14-1 at the half. And well, this one could not have started any differently, right? As they completely dominate on the B side, exploding into position. And Maluk and Pace are the last 2 standing. They're just trying to stay alive right now, maybe prevent the kill damage from coming through for ATK. Suffice to say, it will be 1-0 for ATK as we head into round number 2. And just talking a little bit about Mirage here for both squads. I believe it's 6-2 over the last 3 months for Team 1, and they're on a 4-game win streak. And it was a 5-game win streak on the ATK side that was abruptly ended by B-Hop. And yeah, I don't know, that was just a weird matchup. Maybe B-Hop are actually playing that well right now, because I was looking over at the other match. I believe it's in overtime. Yeah, it was 15-12. It was literally the same scoreline as against ATK that B-Hop had to come back from, and they pushed it to OT, even though they were really up in a big way. I think it was 10-5 at the half, and then they stumbled on their CT side after a dominant T side, and now they're into overtime. So I think B-Hop is having a very good day of CS, and they're able to fend off some of the top teams in NA right now, whereas ATK have used that first match to springboard up here on against Team 1 and really dominate map 1, perhaps map 2 as well. I mean, we've already seen a different look from ATK here in the opening moments. They look way, way better. I know it's only 1 round, but just from that 1 round, we see the confidence is there.
Yeah, from that 1 round, it was vintage ATK.
Yeah.
There was no fuss about that round. Really clean start for them, and now we'll see if they can do the same on the second round against the 4-spy of Team 1. Double Deegs, a 5-7, a FAMAS, and a Scout for Maluk to hold. Full rifles across the board for ATK. A couple Galils, 3 AKs, and a decent amount of utility considering the investment of the rifles. TRK takes a little bit of damage from the Molotov though, and it gets extinguished by Team 1. An apps pop on the cards for ATK, though. Very interesting. They're going to fall off of this, and yeah, it's probably for the best, because look what Pesadella's position, too. If he goes a little aggressive, he's going to get caught, and do they expect somebody here? Is a better question. They don't, and Swisher gets swiped away. AK upgrade, no trade available. No bomb spotted at the very least for Pesa, but this is going to spur Team 1 to a little more aggression.
That's actually such a good frag to get too, because now ATK are going back to the site Team 1 wants them to hit, which is all of the other players are here. Bowden with a great headshot onto IDK. We'll see if ATK is expecting more resistance here. But as it stands, they are still being very cautious with only 41 seconds left on the round. The hit has to come A. Missim just going to try to make as much noise as possible towards the B site and draw Team 1 off of A. We'll see if it works. Nope, not really. TRK finds the headshot from the 5-7 onto Bowden. Fady upgrades to the AK. Modem finds one onto Maluk. Back and forth action here. So much damage done to Team 1, but they still maintain the man edge. Finally, Fady chips in to get TRK, but 2v2 and 15 seconds left for the bomb to be planted. Pesa drops Fady. It's all up to MOTM. Has to find 2 targets with only 10 seconds left at his disposal. He cannot locate them. And Team 1 have upset ATK in round number 2 with the 4-spy. Wow.
Wow, indeed. It all started with that pick from Pesa.
Yeah, exactly. As I was saying, like, Pesa comes in and he manages to get one, keeps them away from the B site, which is the important piece, because Team 1 wanted to funnel them to A.
Yeah, they wanted to book it back towards A. They wanted to make ATK go in towards A. And without that kill, none of that happens. It doesn't work. So right now for Team 1, that's a good start. Missed him with a disgusting dig shot. Will take out Pesadelo. Maluk will answer back nicely. Fady creeping forward. Has to be careful not to get caught up by the MP9 up close around the bricks. And Fady will just drop back. Does not need to aggress here. It looks like ATK is just going for picks right now. They're not necessarily grouping up for anything special. They're just working around, doing what they can. And what they can probably do out of this round is a bomb plant. If they get a round out of it, then fair play. But for Team 1, that's going to be a gutting round to lose, considering all the effort they had to do to even get that first one of this map so far. And there goes IDK. He goes around in Sniper's Nest. He gets caught. And the gates are starting to open for ATK.
Yeah, I mean, the Force by Wars have started. ATK are up to the challenge, saying if you can do it, so can we. Maluk's going to spot out Boat, and that will help Team 1 settle things down for the moment. But will MOTM be expected to be in this position? They already know that he was here. And I think just the thought of that is keeping Maluk at bay for the time being. And look at ATK. They've already worked their way onto the B site. Nope, no idea. Even though he'd already been spotted there, a Modem gets another one onto Maluk. Malps trades it out on Fady, but the bomb's been planted. Time is ticking away. What a critical one for TRK to find, though. It's all up to Swisher, who only has the Deagle at his disposal. However, a couple of nicely placed shots will seal the round in his favor, especially considering how low TRK is. They're going to try and pincer him. One from Cat, one from Market. There's the Molotov out, and it works. TRK peeks around. Team 1 will secure the round, but it is extremely expensive for them. So it's going to be a reinvestment coming through. But neither team can really settle in just yet.
Yeah, neither team has really been able to get anything going cleanly. Aside from that pistol round from ATK, that was clean.
Right.
But everything else is very much up in the air. So right now for ATK, it's just getting this round over with. It's going to be pistols, deagles. It's going to be a deco, no armor. MOTM on nothing but a Glock. And Team 1 have all the firepower advantages they want in this round. It's just don't die. Well, it was good for the opening pick. That it didn't last very long. That strategy is out the window now. And MOTM doesn't even take much damage out of that. Fady, though, gets dropped. And perhaps Bowden can catch up. Malbs, too, going around towards Vam, but Malbs is able to win that fight. Only takes a chest shot with the Deagle. And now it's looking a little more clean for Team 1 here. Now very much clean as actually, MOTM might even be able to drop out a palace and get a bomb plant. Unless TRK's read this, which I think he has.
Yeah, he realized how much space was open towards A, so he immediately goes to stairs. Thing is, maybe Modem can still sneak through. Yeah, he's just really just biding his time. This is probably over.
Yeah.
So maybe a little nervousness setting in for ATK after the pistol round. I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good, but you know, for them, that one round they picked up against B-Hop in the first half is probably still haunting them, and I think getting to 2 will be important for their psyche here. Here comes another full-on buy-up. Going to be 4 AKs and the op once all is said and done with full util. Team 1, on the other hand, will have enough to get a full buy-up as well. No op on their side just yet. But I'm sure that will come through eventually. Let's see if ATK can get a push going towards the A site into this round. They've got a lot of util primed and ready. There's a smoke into the Molotov. They're just going to push out all at once and hope for the best. MOTM looking for targets. There are the smokes being thrown, but TRK with the F1 race car peak gets one. Luckily for ATK, he's traded, but Team 1 with the counter util being thrown on in, denying the bomb plant for the time being, as Swisher has to watch CT. There's no smoke for it. Pesa through the smoke drops Bowden. Swisher still doesn't have that opening to plant the bomb. He cannot feel safe here, and for good reason, because Malbs is lurking around the corner. Sprays pace down to 34, but his teammates just dropping like flies. He has to do something, and he can't. Maluk gets 2 more, and Malbs is going to wrap up the round 4-1 for Team 1 that execute looked good in the early goings, Austin, but they didn't have the CT smoke, and that was the reason why that round went towards Team 1.
Yeah, the lack of a smoke can always make a difference in a match, and
They
not
couldn't
having
plant
the
'cause
CT
of it.
smoke was definitely a big issue there for ATK. It's the extra bits of utility that you need to finish off a round, and well, they're on pace to equalize their T scoreline against B-Hop. Team 1 starting to really stabilize things here, and the nade's going to do a little bit of damage onto Fady and MOTM. 27 away from Fady, 6 away from MOTM. Flashes it towards B, and Mobs will spray away blind, but IDK gets a double, one with a nade and one with a spray. Mobs will spray down another. Paces come through to support. IDK with 3, and that is a wash of a round in Team 1. Now they're starting to feel comfortable here, John. This is more for Team 1, what you would like to see.
Yeah, I think ATA just likes playing Ancient. That must be it. They just pick Mirage to lose on it so they can get more practice on Ancient. I don't know. Look, this one's not over. I'm joking, of course, but
They just want to win a flawless CT half. That's the whole thing.
yeah. Timeout going to be called by ATK to talk things over.
Well, that's something different from the last match they played on Mirage. They called a timeout before they were down like 9-0.
Yeah, the timeout took way too long to come out, so that is true. Want to settle things down. They need that second within the next 2 rounds, because if they don't get it, it's going to get scarier and scarier for them. Who will be the catalyst is the question.
There's an opening for Mistum. Fady with a trade. 4v3 right now, but the nade's going to take him out. Nice connection swisher. We'll finish off IDK, though, so about 20 seconds into the round, we've had 5 kills. And ATK come out on top of the man advantage. But still, ATK cannot relax. They've really struggled on the T side of Mirage, excuse me. And yeah, I think I'm also on the Ancient mode right now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So, which,
Maybe
granted,
they are
I
too.
enjoy seeing Ancient a lot more than I enjoy watching Mirage. I've seen so much
I
Mirage
do
at this
too.
point, but this round's still not over. Bowden can get taken down in the backstab. And the bomb's not even down. There it goes.
Yeah, Bowden's very vulnerable in this position. He's got 2 angles to hold. Oh, that'll help. Barrel sticking through the smoke. Bowden gets a no-scope. TRK, though, does manage to find the trade, although he's down to 58 HP. Position known now. ATK does not have to hunt. They just need to tuck themselves behind cover and let TRK come to them, because time is ticking away on this bomb, and they know that TRK has got a lot of work to do in order to find the defusal and 2 frags. And, well, just that time that they bought by hiding was already enough, and MOTM adds salt to the wound with the final frag found onto TRK. There it is. ATK found the second. The curse is over on T side of Mirage. Now they can relax, take a deep breath, and say, all right, guys, let's get it going. We know we can play better than we did against B-Hop, and, of course, better than we have been in the first few rounds here.
It's good to get more rounds than you did the last time out. It's always a good thing.
Jeez, it just get it out of your mind, right? Because you know they were probably thinking about it. Okay, well, that's not helping.
No, that really doesn't help. That does the opposite of help. And Bowden's about to get taken out by TRK. Actually gets out of there alive. That's quite lucky for Bowden, as he was flirting with the M4A1 of TRK. Fady rather gets the drop on him and spots out Maluk towards stairs too. Has to reload, but this buys time for Mistum to come up through Khan. He's been spotted though. He doesn't take a shot soon enough, and he gets a little bit of movement thrown off his aim. Sprayed down by Pesadello. 3 kills in the round, looking for more. Going into Palace, and Bowden has Fady with... Actually, no, never mind. Fady's left completely to the other side of the map. He's going out towards top middle now, and it's all really down to Bowden to get anything done towards A.
Yeah, I think Mistum thought he had more time than he did, right? Because Pesa wasn't really firing that quickly, but then once Pesa realized the positioning, it was really too slow for Mistum. So, 3K for Pesa so far. Still on for an ace, potentially. He is in Palace. Could peek around and easily punish Bowden at this point. because Bowden's just so distracted with all the other angles that he has to hold. Maluk waiting on the other end with an op of his own. Perhaps an op v op duel is looming, but Team 1 are just waiting and waiting and waiting. Till this bomb gets planted. There goes Maluk, takes down Bowden, and Fady will fall afterwards. At least a bomb plant comes through for ATK, but I'm not sure if it's much to celebrate. Pace adds a little bit of BM to the body there. As it stands, though, Team 1 isolate the round victory again for ATK and make it 6-2, Austin.
Solid CT start for Team 1, and what we can realistically expect is we know ATK's T side on this map is a little lackluster. So, Team 1 started to build up the rounds, build up that bank a little bit more. And for ATK, it's just a matter of trying to get more than 2 rounds on the board. I'd say they want about 5. If they get to 5, they'll be happy here.
Look, their CT side's good, but it's not good enough to overcome a 13-2 or a 14-1. So
Yeah.
they need, as I said against B-Hop, they needed 4 rounds. If they got 4 rounds T side, I think they could have pulled it off, but they got 1. So here it's 2. They're halfway there. We'll see if they can get the whole way there.
Are they living on a prayer, John?
Yes. I'm not going to sing the whole song.
Oh, that's a shame.
I'm too tired.
Okay, fair enough.
Flashbang's going to get tossed by ADK. Oh, now I got it in my head.
You started it.
Oh, I did.
You'll have to finish it tomorrow.
Oh.
Swisher. How is he alive?
How does IDK connect with that much damage on the panel spam? That's another question.
I don't think it was the panel spam. I think it was the fadeaway in kitchen.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
either way. It's going to be IDK with the first one, but Bowden strikes back for a couple with the big green. There's the space opened up at B. No one else is even in the vicinity for Team 1. Maluk spots out Bowden, peeking cat for whatever reason. Missed him, is going to get the trade onto Maluk. So a lot of aggression here in the post plant from ATK. Unnecessarily. We've seen this so many times before. Pace is going to jump on through. He's isolated this player at cat. Doesn't know where anyone else is, but he just wants to take this fight and try and get the 1v1. And he will find it. 2v2. Fady with the response. Pesa right on back. 1v1, and Pesa is going to win it again. The over-aggression costs ATK for, I don't even know how many rounds we've seen that, Austin. But again, it will be the difference maker. Bowden didn't have to swing at all.
Nope. Bowden didn't have to swing. The cat player didn't have to swing.
It's so strange that they're playing like this in post plants, but anyway, look. Team 1's happy. They found the 7th. Another retake comes through, and their lead is restored to 5.
Yeah, it's back up to a 5-round lead, and at least for ATK, they can buy up again, but these T sides are very concerning. Even if they're able to get to 5 or 6. I'd say it's still concerning the way that things have really progressed for them. And there's definitely a lot that needs to be discussed. Oh, that's a nice thought ender there from Swisher. It's a really good little cat and mouse game with Malbs, just trying to bait him into the peak. And
Mistem slipped through too.
oh yeah, this is a huge play for Mistem potentially. You can go in and open up the B side from behind.
Absolutely. I think AT needs to just wait here. Wait for Mistem to get out because no one's going to be looking market. There's no way Team 1's going to expect this because there were 2 players towards the A site. Maluk does get 1. MOTM pushing up. Again, probably should have waited. There's Mistem. Spots out 1 player. Just needs to spot out the 2nd. And now he knows. He heard that utility being used towards Van. There's 1. Lines up the 2nd. There you go. Mistem takes care of both. And the site has been secured here. Could have had MOTM alive as well, but got a little too eager. Anyway, Swisher's going to drop Pesa. That is the round. ATK will not lose this 1v4 as TRK just wants to save the A4 into the next round.
Yeah, no reason for him to run this one into the ground. No reason for him to lose it because the money on Team 1, despite being up 5 rounds, now just 4, is not great. So it's definitely a save call that needs to be made here for TRK. And for ATK, it's Swisher who gives him the opening, and it's Mistem who gives him the finish. That flank play from Mistem is amazing. The fact he's able to slip through into jungle, that's a huge gap that got exploited.
Yeah, and he wasn't even tempted to peek around mid or try to take a fight there. He just knew exactly what he needed to do based on the positioning of his teammates towards B. Very nicely executed. So ATK find a third. One more. And they will be in pretty good shape on their T side. Still looking rough, gotta say. But better results, at least, than they found against B-Hop at the 10-round mark.
This aggression up middle is not going to be fully aggressed. Pace is going to back up into Con. Play around the smoke angle. Missed him. Will peek right into him. And Pesa will say thank you very much. Opening pick goes the way of Team 1 this time, and that's usually been a calling card for a Team 1 round. No kill from MO Team on that swing either. Swisher will try and trade that back, but they're still down a man, and IDK sitting in firebox right out. Fady just gets spanned. I think he's shown through the smoke there, and
Yeah.
it's all down to Bowden with an op in a 1v4, 8-3. This has to be a Team 1 round, especially with the Maluk flank up through T.
Yeah, I mean, ATK can't get two in a row here. They just keep getting isolated with every single round victory they find. Bowden, oh, nice shot. Quick scope onto Maluk. Good reaction. Then just going to toss the op away. Says, you know what? Got to get rid of one of those so that the Team 1 can't save it. And now he's rotating all the way around through B. Will he be able to catch anyone off guard? I'm not even sure that's the plan. He could just be trying to save here. Loss bonus sitting at 2,900, so, I mean, he'll be able to buy up the op again should he lose it. Peeking around, looking at the target, spots out Pesa, okay. Headshot found, 27 seconds left on the clock now, Austin, but still, he doesn't have the bomb, and yeah, he's gone.
Yep, he's just going to save. He has enough to really not have to worry about it either, so. Good stuff there from Bowden, at least to get the extra exit and save the op. Although, yeah, there's no way IDK can get to him. He's just walking around.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Team 1's economy is that great either. This buy-up's not going to inspire confidence, to say the least. 8-3, they have taken the half, but it's not the worst position for ATK. They can certainly pull back a few rounds at this point. And given their economy, they will definitely have a good buy-up. Team 1 want to talk things over. 7 more seconds left in their timeout. They will invest. It's not going to be that bad at the end of the day because they saved a couple of rifles, so.
The Galil, though, is a bit of a soft spot, especially since Swisher is the one who has the highest ADR by far on the team. You would expect him to be dropped over an AK so he can get a little more work done. He's been this man who's gotten him a couple of rounds, so probably want to give him the best opportunity to open up a round. The lack of an op for Team 1, a bit of a weak point, but they still have not really had any lack of getting the opening kills. And the boost for Pesa to get into ladder is a great play. And he's going to get a free kill onto Mistum. The flash comes in from IDK, and there's the opening pick for Team 1. Looking for the 9th. ATK still at 3. They need at least 4. And right now, I feel like 4 is going to take a miracle from an individual. Might just have to be Swisher again.
Or MOTM, he has been very quiet. Now he's got one onto Pesa. That evens out the numbers. And they're leaning more towards the B side at this point. With a couple of players down mid, maybe pushing towards Cat wouldn't be a bad idea. IDK is waiting there. Malb's setting up the boost. This could expose IDK to get taken down, but no! It's actually Malb, that's on the boost, and he takes down Bowden despite the damage received on his end. But Swisher swings around for Maps at the perfect time to find the two-piece 3v2 in favor of ATK, but their health is very, very low on both Swisher and Fady. Will Team 1 just pull the plug and call for the save because of the economy? That would be a saving grace for ATK, given how light these players are on health, as mentioned, and I don't know if Team 1 is waving the white flag just yet. Now they're going to, yeah.
Yeah, get the op for Maluk and just save. Save the red line. That's a skin I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
But it's a classy one.
Yeah,
Always a
nice.
favorite. What's nice, though, was that double from apps from Swisher with the Galil, of all things. It's not a FAMAS. It's better than a FAMAS, but you don't normally see that kind of an entry with a Galil. Swisher putting the team on his back again. And the damage that they've been doing to Team 1 has finally got them around, essentially, because they had to save. They couldn't go for it. That's definitely something to help out ATK here, give them to a fourth. But if they can get 5 or even 6 out of this half, then their CT side should be enough to carry them to a victory, especially if they can get a pistol round.
Yeah, if they win this one, it's definitely 6, unless something catastrophic happens in the follow-up round. Because you're looking at the economy here of Team 1, no one above $100. And they brought 2 FAMASas, a CZ, the AWP and the AK being the best guns. Maybe they can do damage early, and there you go. Maluk connecting onto Mistim to make it a 5v4. That's just what the doctor ordered for Team 1. The thing is, the majority of the hit here, in fact, everyone, for ATK going towards the B site, which is extremely light. Mob's been flashbanged. He's isolated. IDK can't help him, and he'll have to help himself, and he does! 2 frags come through for Mobs. Now Modem is the last one standing, and no longer Maluk assisting with 3 frags in the round, and Mobs doing the work himself when he was challenged. Team 1 make it look easy on the 9th, and the punish round just isn't coming through for ATK. They keep getting 1, and when it looks like they're going to be able to get a second, Team 1 shuts them down.
Yeah, they can't. And it's been a recurring issue. And it's an issue that needs to be fixed, because this could have been a much better scoreline for Team 1 or for ATK.
Yeah.
But Team 1 are able to find a way to win a round when they don't necessarily have the best of buys. So for ATK, when there's blood in the water, you gotta strike. You gotta find a way to win those rounds. You cannot overthink it, which might be a problem for them. They might be overthinking things. They might be putting too much stress on the rounds. But you have to win those rounds if you want to have long-term success in the match and in general.
And if you're going to pick into it, right?
Yeah, I honestly don't know why they picked into it after the way they played against B-Hop. That, in and of itself, is a question mark. But at the very least, they've gotten more rounds against Team 1 than they did against B-Hop, but
Still not a good look.
do you really want to go to Ancient against Team 1?
Yeah, it's not B-Hop and Ancient, that's for sure.
No, it's a very good Ancient team.
City.
Wow.
A lot of damage taken by CASA there, down to 49. And again, I mean, look, Malbs is a solid anchor on this B site, but he should have been overloaded in that previous round, just wasn't. Nice snappy aim from him, and now he's going to spot out Swisher. Not do as much damage as he would have liked, I would think, but there's the finishing blow again. The FAMAS continues to deliver here in the hands of Malbs. Now he's going to spot out a player, throws the smoke, and in the meantime, CASA drops Bowden. It's all Team 1 again in the early goings, and ATK completely stalls out. And guess where they are? Exactly where they started the round, back in T-spawn, no map control at all, and only 50 seconds left to get an execute of some kind going.
They're going to go for A, but this round is not good for ATK. They've invested so much that the next round they'll be broke anyways, unless they're able to get a bomb plant somehow. And at that point, they might even have a winnable round. Mistim's able to pick up an op now. This gives them a little bit more to stand on, but they are still setting up for a Smokes A exec. They have 2. They'll presumably use 1. Never mind, they're going to put Mistim and Palace to group up with MOTM. And Fady will have a 1. There's no time! They're saving. They're saving here.
It's not a bad call. Lost bonus to 2,900. You have the util, you have the armor. No one's taking damage. I don't mind it. But man, that round is just so disappointing from ATK because you lose the opening fight towards the apartments. You give up all the space that you work to gain and end up right back in T-spawn. Then they just realize, all right, well, there's really not much more we can do into this round, so let us just save everything we have and try to get a 5th here in the 15th and final round of the first half of play. 2 Galils, 2 AKs, the op, and only 1 smoke. No, 2 smokes are available to them. That's good. We'll see where they decide to deploy those, and Bowden finds the opener onto Maluk. Finally, some space gained into this B site, and actually, Malbs isn't here, and maybe that's the problem here for Team 1, because now IDK has been dropped. Bowden potentially looking towards Cat for another victim, but as it stands, no one is in that position. 1 underpass, that's Pesa, and TRK trying to get into market. But look at this. Mobs decides to switch up positions for one round, and this is the one that ATK have managed to get into B. The thing is, the bomb's not there yet. And look where Pesa is. He can get a 3K. There's the bomb at his feet. Finds one, but not the second. And in the meantime, TRK gets dropped by Bowden as well. That should be it. Only mobs left. 1v4 this 5th round. So very important for ATK, who win 70% or more of their CT-sided rounds, typically on Mirage. And there it is, 10-5 as we head to a break.
But now we go to where ATK like to thrive. It's Boggs and JRT on the call, and as well they're on our observing for the evening, and I guess it's morning for him at this point, but anyways, we go into map 2 of Series 2 of the night. ATK versus Team 1, 16-7 for ATK on Dust 2, the pick of Team 1, and ATK looking for some redemption on Mirage. As the AXX going to come on through, Mistim holding deep. It's a retake A setup from ATK. And Mistim's just going to completely concede, not even reveal his position, as now they come through. He taps away while Blood gets 2! What? Ludicrous shots! And Pesa pushes in towards CT with the bomb. Maluk right next to him. Maluk's got to be careful not to drop the bomb towards Fady. And Fady's going to get some contact points here. MOTM has picked up IDK. And if ATK win both pistol rounds, then this is a serious opportunity for them.
How does Mistim get 2 of those? Unbelievable. Swisher and Bowden just tapped the heads of Maluk and Pesa, but that round is all missed. Just great crosshair placement is what it comes down to. Despite being blinded, he still holds the angle well and taps the heads as they come towards him. 6th round picked up by ATK, and what better way to start their CT side than that? They've won both pistol rounds here on Mirage, which is explaining why they've got such a good pistol round win percentage here on Mirage. It's their 2nd best of all their maps, Dust 2 being number 1 at 68.8%, and here on Mirage coming into this, 63.6%. Another good percentage, Austin, is 72.6% of their CT rounds are won.
Woo.
So that is a very nice stat line for them to have, and we talked about it. 4 or 5 rounds T-side is what they needed. Even though it was very scrappy and very, very difficult for them to come by, they did get the 5.
They did, and they've got the 6th in the opening here to try and grab a 7th. It's definitely a good opportunity for ATK. It's definitely one where they can pull this one back. But they have to manage their economy too. They cannot go losing players. And they cannot go taking fights unnecessarily. That's a good bit of nade damage onto IDK. And Team 1 look a little lost in this round where they want to go. They don't really have a clue just yet. Although Pace is clearing up through ladder. Looks like it's going to be a B end in the end. About a minute on the clock to go. A little bit of utility drop back from Maluk as well. But Bowden's here, so is Fady. There's enough to stop this potential take. The problem is Pesa up on Cat. He's the one who can really throw a monkey wrench into the system.
Oh, Fady's going to get one traded out by Pesa, but oh, okay, hold on a second. Pesa does manage to get a 2nd, and now they've got the B side. Swisher tagged down to 30 by the scout of IDK, and all of a sudden, something out of nothing for Team 1, a 3v5 brought down to a 3v3, and MOTM's lucky to even find that frag onto IDK. Far from over for Team 1 because Malps has the AK available to him, but now will only be that AK that will have to fend off. All 3 players are from ATK, and he's just not good for it. ATK, despite giving up the bomb plant there, and it got a little bit scary, right? They still take the round.
Yeah, that's good. They don't lose too many players. 2 is not great, but it's also not terrible. Pesa doing a great job in this one, though, and he's far and above the only reason Team 1 have the rounds that they do, really, realistically speaking.
Yeah,
22 and 8. 10 kills more than his nearest teammate. And 10 kills more than the top on ATK as well in Bowden. So Pesa's really been putting the work here. Tried to do it again with that good cat play, just wasn't enough to give them the round. The bomb plant, though, is going to be good for their buy-up in the following. Pesa will have a hero AK alongside the pistols of his teammates. As the utility is going to come in for the A take. No CT smoke yet. In fact, it's just a nade towards CT. MOTM swings out wide, has to be careful. He's gone sideswiped by Malbs, who
Malbs.
drops 2. He gets an AK as well, and another scary player could be awoken here as the AK is in his hands. A flash in the CT spawn, but Fady will deal with the threat. A Molotov in towards default plant spot will flush Pace into the open, but he's going to spray down Swisher. Now Boden's coming in from the flank towards Palace. Fady up in jungle. Pace's positioning could expose, and yeah, it's a kill for Boden. Yeah. All down to Maluk now. He's done. And ATK really hemorrhaging bodies, though, and they're letting Team 1 get the bomb down. It's not been clean, and that's a problem.
At least they got the 3 in a row, but you're right. I mean, after winning pistol, it was not clean from them losing 3 players in that round, 2 in the previous one. And yes, they'll be able to buy up here, but their economy is still in a very precarious spot. In a round where Team 1 will bring off their first full rifle buy-up to bear. 4 AKs and the AWP coming through for them. ATK at the very least cutting the lead to only 2 rounds here. Everyone has been pitching in, though, for the ATK side. We were talking about how it's very top-heavy for Team 1, while for ATK, evenly spread. Only 3 frags separate top from bottom, and Fady, MOTM, and Mistem all have 10 frags apiece. This mid control is extremely aggressive from ATK, and we've seen it time and time again. Their CT side tends to be more on the aggressive end of the scale.
Boden can shut this down. He swings out wide. There's a good opening, and he does not re-aggress. Swisher, in the meantime, has found a pick coming in through Con. Pace up through underpass, going to try and get the trade onto Swisher, but he's backed away into jungle. A wise decision from the ATK players to just go fire away, hit and run, get their kill, and then back away. Play the double man advantage. Fady rotating in towards get Swisher around, and he'll finish off Pace as well. A hot rod with the phase gold stickers on there, really suiting Swisher quite well. Fady won't really be bothered by the flash, as it's utility from Malbs and IDK to try and take the B site. But there's Boden here as well. And it don't Boden well for Team 1 as they're going to walk into this site. Malbs will actually get naded by his teammate, and Boden will finish the last 2. 4 straight to start the half for ATK. No response yet for Team 1. However, they have not also called a timeout yet. Presumably that'll be saved for when they go in with the guns. But the lead has evaporated, and it's about gone.
Yeah, only 1 round left for ATK to find in order to tie this one up at 10. And Team 1 are going to go for a half point. It's actually pretty darn nice. You got an AK, a Galil, 2 Tech 9s, and a P250. But ATK finally won a clean round there for the first time this half. All 5 players left standing. So they get a little bit of an economic foundation. Another clean one here would be even better. Team 1 trying to deny that and hang on to their lead. And look at this push by Malbs again with the Tech 9, and then Pesa drops Fady. MOTM with a great response to at least find Malbs, but still, it's a man advantage for Team 1. Rifle upgrades available, and MOTM wants to push up. This smoke is currently guising his advance. He makes the move, finds the head of Pesa. 3v3, the reinforcements are here as well. They're trying to close the gaps and push out as a unit. 1 player for each lane. Mistem flicks around to find 1, and the second onto Maluk. That is a huge play from Mistem. Only IDK left over at bench. They're just going to riddle him with bullets. There's very little chance for him to survive, and indeed, Mistem finds the last one. A 3K on the retake, and ATK do indeed find a 10th.
A 10-second defuse to grab 10. Wasn't really one that they had to worry about. And Boden does grab a kit for his trouble on the way out, but 10 rounds all tied up now. This one starting to get a little wild. Started to get a little shaky for Team 1. No timeout called into the gun round, though. Bit of a question mark here. And for ATK, the confidence has to be building. They got 5, now they've tied it up. They have guns. They don't have a lot of money, except for Boden. That can be remedied with a couple of clean rounds here. Boden with a cat jump puts himself in a good position to shut down a mid-run, which has not come just yet. He's actually playing anti-flash half the time as well. The flashes come in, he does shoot just a little bit late. Swisher's blinded out in middle, though. His aggressive positioning is shut down. Boden's over top. He has to be expected, but he gets the kill. Paces around, but Boden can't connect on the second try. And that's going to mean that there's a man advantage for Team 1. And Fady up on Catwalk has a decision to make. Does he fight from snipers? Does he fight from Cat? He's going to take the ladder room and take. The smoke will make sure he can't see anything. It's going to open up an A run from Team 1, although they have a lot of time. They don't need to go either site just yet. They can really figure out how ATK want to play this and exploit to the fullest. Look at Mistim's positioning, though. There's no way he gets cleared from here.
No, I mean, this could be the round. Mistim. Tucked in here with the high ground near A ramp. Team 1 have no idea. He just has to bide his time. He knows it. There's 1, 2, and 3. Mistim makes it look easy. And Pace, Adela, the last one standing. Now he's got a chance to punish. There's Fady walking past him. Thing is, Pace is the last one standing. Has to go and try and retreat the bomb. Mistim wins the fight. And that will be that. A 4K for Mistim, who has just awoken here at a very critical juncture for ATK, jumping up to 17 frags, tied with Bowden for the lead there, and a timeout being forced out by Team 1. As you mentioned, Austin, as the rounds go on here, they really do need to settle themselves down, and another critical one will come through.
It's a good timeout, maybe a little late perhaps, but for Mistim, a phenomenal play. The poise to get those kills, to not panic in the shots, and he just plucks them out one by one. Takes his time without taking too much time. It's a fine line. And he's had a really good series today through both series. He's been very good for this ATK side. And it's good to see your in-game leader performing at a very high level individually. And he's been a hero for ATK throughout a few maps here. This one definitely getting in the first lead they've had in a while on this map since the pistol round. All the way back, round number 1 of the game. It's the first lead ATK's had. Now without Mistim's play, Team 1 have so much opportunity to win that. The little cheeky reposition works out well, and now Fady's going to take a little bit of initiative up through Kitchen. If he gets the drop on bulbs, which he does! Oh boy, ATK looking for a 12th, and that would mean 7 straight rounds.
Well, we talked about how good their CT side can be if they have the space to actually show it off in terms of rounds, and that's what they earned for themselves in that first half. Maluk coming around here from Cat. TRK tag down. IDK as well. And Swisher's just doing all the work from bench. Fady gets one as well. And it's only Pesa left, who's completely surrounded. Eventually going to get overloaded here. 1 minute left on the clock. ATK doesn't have to take the fight, though. The bomb is down. They continue to take the fight, and this time, at least, it doesn't cost them. Swisher finds the last one, and that will be that. 12-10 for ATK, who have you, as you mentioned, Austin, have not lost a single round yet in the second half. No,
they haven't. It's been a phenomenal CT start, and we do know they have a great CT half. We've mentioned it now across 2 maps in Mirage. 72% win rate on their CT side. It's only going up after this one. But
yeah, no, absolutely. But how is Pesa almost at 30 and no one else is anywhere close to him? This is ridiculous now. 17 frags separate him from second place on the squad. Where has the rest of Team 1 gone?
He's got 2 teammates under double-digit kills 23 rounds into the game.
It's insane.
It's more than insane. It's baffling. It's utterly baffling why this is available. I mean, look at that.
This round's over.
This round is over. Flawless for ATK, and that's great for their economy. But man, you really got to feel bad for Pesa. 141 ADR, 141 ADR, 29 and 14, a 2.1 KD, and the man has no help.
Yep. A tough pill to swallow, but I mean, even if Team 1 do end up falling here, they have a little bit of time to talk things over. They'll be in the consolidation final tomorrow and facing off against the winner of the lower final that's happening right now between B-Hop and Nouns. And hey, this one's not over yet, because Maluk gets the opening frag onto Bowden, and IDK drops Mistim. Perhaps Team 1 will finally get a T-side round on the board. Swisher at least gets one, but it's so very expensive in terms of health for him to find that one. And Team 1 has already taken the space onto A. Flashbang goes through. what do you do if you're ATK in this spot? It's not going to be easy to fight your way back in. That will help immensely. That helps even more. What's happening here? How is this slipping through Team 1's fingers? Only Maluk left standing after all that chaos, and he goes down to MOTM. They couldn't get on the site.
Nope. And here's the thing, too. ATK, everyone's showing up. Everyone is fragging out in this half. It's a team effort. Everyone's coming together. Swisher has been the spearhead for a large part. Mistim has had insane plays. Bowden's popping off with the op. MOTM and Fady are chiming in when required, like this last round. And it's a team effort. Everyone's pulling the rope here for ATK. Meanwhile, it's just Pesa for Team 1. In fact, you might say half of his team's on the other side. He's got no help. And they're back on pistols again. It's another half buy for ATK to get to 15 rounds. This would be a flawless half potentially for ATK. It's a mow down as they run out of apartments. And IDK is somewhere else. He's very late. Pace is on site, and he's got his 30 bomb at the very least. IDK does get to 10 kills now, but that's it. MOTM with the last 2 to clean it up, and boy howdy.
I mean,
10 rounds straight.
I don't think I've seen 2 maps of Mirage back-to-back in different series where a team has struggled so mightily on the T side. This time it's Team 1, previously ATK, right?
Yep.
But this is just... wow.
And you can't even say ATK did well on their T
No,
side either.
no, you can't. Like, they slipped through and managed to get 5 rounds, but it was very difficult for them to find that. And now, well, we're down to map and series point here for ATK. 5 opportunities to close this one out. Fady's gonna peek. There's the opener. Could start things off. Swisher with a second, looking for the third, but no. TRK at least gets a response here, but he's down to only 11 HP. Fady wants to peek around, and TRK punishes him too with an insta headshot. So that is a very good job by him. The thing is, IDK looks to gain some space onto A, and he gets erased, meaning it's only Maluk and TRK is just clinging on to life at this point as the nade explodes right over his head and does 9 damage. Maluk has slipped in towards the B apartments, but there is an A1S on the other side. He has to be quick on the flick, and he's not. He goes down. It's all up to the 2 HP TRK, and now Mistim gets tagged down a little bit, but the jumping shot connects, and that's going to be it, Austin. A flawless CT side for ATK. Like you mentioned, of course, it's only going to get better for their percentage, their win percentage.